What is the biggest mistake that you could do with your footwork on the tennis court? Well, before we get into it, this video is courtesy of Winston Du. Check out his channel for some awesome tennis content. I'll post a link to his channel in the description area. So let's check out this point real quick. This is Winston and Austin on the other end. So what is the biggest footwork mistake you could do on the tennis court? Well, we could do many mistakes, right? We could not do split steps. We could have issue with our stances, closed stance, open stance. But here's my thing. If you don't recover as a tennis player, if you don't do those recovery steps after you hit a tennis ball, then you're doomed. That is the biggest mistake you could do. And it's just tough to coach players who don't recover. Just tough to be a good tennis player in general if you don't recover, right? You have to hit many balls many times in a tennis point, right? So when Austin here is about to hit this forehand, notice that Winston is about to hit what I call the worst shot in singles tennis. And I've talked about this many times, a couple other videos. The worst shot in singles tennis is this backhand up the line that is short and slow to your opponent's forehand. You're in big trouble that way, right? So he hits this. But the thing is, there's no urgency to get back to his recovery spot, right? Anytime you hit a down the line ball, you should be recovering here. And right now, we don't see Winston. Okay, he's off screen. This ball is traveling in the air. He's a good enough player that he should know that he's hit a down the line shot. And he should be pretty much over here already, like with urgency going to here, right? But he's off screen and he just kind of goes towards the center with a couple steps, kind of moseying along. And now he sees this. This is a drop shot attempt, right? Again, there should be some urgency. You should be actually kind of inside the baseline now, getting ready to retrieve this ball. Winston does retrieve it, right? He's a very speedy guy. He can get up to any ball he wants. He flicks this up the line, and Austin just lasers this backhand pass. Very good backhand there. So Winston loses this point, but it was still makeable with a good recovery, right? If he just recovered back here a little bit quicker, it could have forced Austin to do something a little different, and that could have made the difference. So as a tennis player, right, you got to remember, when you hit these down the line shots, you got to recover back to the opposite side of the court there, right? If you hit a forehand down the line, you got to recover back here, right? If it's cross court, then, you recover back here, right? Cross court this way, you just recover back here. That's why hitting cross courts is very important. But yeah, sometimes we're defensive. We got to hit down the line, but we need that urgency, right? And, this is not about footwork technique, right? This is not about, what's happening with Winston's footwork. Oh, how should he do this? Should he side shuffle, crossover, whatever, just run? What it is I want to see intention. I want to see the body language where, oh man, I just hit something not so good. We got to get up here. We got to get up to this X here so that I'll be ready for that next shot. You're on defense, right? So, that's what a good tennis player is all about. You got to be aware of these situations, and you got to recover quickly. Got to have intention to recover quickly. And obviously, you need the good footwork as well, good technique with your footwork, right? So don't make this what I call the biggest mistake in footwork, in your tennis footwork, is to just not recover. And just to illustrate what I want to see happen, right? So here's me hitting this forehand up the line, and I recover back over here, right? That's where I want to be, okay? So that I could cover for that potential cross court. And it does happen again right here. So now I'm really pulled out here toward the sideline. And here I hit a forehand down the line. Not quite great, right? I wouldn't call this the worst shot in singles tennis because it is a forehand towards my opponent's backhand. But there is this urgency to go back over here, right? And so I see this, I just hit this ball, right? And I see it going down the line. and notice that I'm pretty much there to my recovery spot. I'm going there. The ball hasn't been hit yet, okay? And I'm at my recovery spot here, okay? That's where you want to be right before when your opponent hits that potential cross court, right? So that's all about recovery, and recovery is so crucial, so underrated, I think. And that's the biggest footwork mistake that you can do, is basically not to recover. If you enjoyed this video, check out my website, coachadrian.net, where you can hire me as your tennis coach. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.